know, it's something I remember, and I always will too, because of what happened. And nobody here is going to believe me, but well, I'll tell you anyhow. It started out okay. I mean, I was nervous about taking my driver's test, sure, but who isn't, right? So my mom drives me out to the place where they give the test, and she goes off to read a book or something. And I'm standing there next to the car, and this guy comes out, and he's carrying a clipboard with a pencil attached. And he says, "Get in the car!" Not howdy or nice day or anything, just get in the car! So I do, and he gets in.
Click!
He's asking me my name and stuff. He's writing, and I sneak a little look at him. And he looks okay, I mean for a giant sour bus. Then he says, "Now start the car!" So I do. "Pull out and drive straight ahead!" So I look at the side mirror, and I look all around, like I'm supposed to do, and flip on my turn signals and tell everybody I'm coming out in that lane. Only, I don't know, I flipped on the windshield wipers instead, and they're going like crazy and spraying water all over and wiping it off, and I finally find the switch and turn them off. "Just making sure the windshield's clean before we begin," I say pleasantly, and I give him a big grin, and he gives me this real icy stare out of his thick old glasses. But then I look back at him because of his eyebrows. I hadn't really noticed before, but now they seem really big and shaggy, real shaggy. Then he says, "Well, are we gonna go?" And I say, "Yes, sir, right away, eyebrows. I mean, we hadn't even left the curb, and I was already in trouble." So anyway, I flipped on the right signal this time, which was really the left one, but well, you get the idea, and pulled out into traffic. Turn right at the corner! So, I make it to the corner, I flip my signal, and I'm turning okay, but then suddenly I go up over the curb. And it was a pretty high curve, like maybe the Great Wall of China curve. Now trust me, I've never gone over a curb before. Never! And I look over to tell him that, and he's writing like mad, of course. But now his clipboard looks 10 times bigger, and it's practically taking up the whole front seat, and his pencil is humongous, and he says, "Go to the stop sign and continue on." So I do, but now I'm going real slow, because I'm pointing out to a stop sign, right? And suddenly out of nowhere, some guy comes roaring up behind me, blasting his horn, and he yells at me to get out of the way and turn off your signal! Which I forgot I left on, and he's swearing at me. And it's just great. Road rage. I'm a victim of road rage, and I haven't even gone a block. So now the guy next to me lets out this big groan and mutters something. "Whoa, how did I get this job anyway?" So I think, hey, maybe he's lightening up a little. And I smile and look to see if he's smiling too. He isn't. But then I notice he has these really strange teeth hanging out of his mouth. I'm not kidding. Fangs. I hadn't noticed those before. And suddenly he's not talking quite the same either. I mean, now he sort of growls. And he says, "Oh, how did I get this job anyway?" "Now make a left at the corner." And so well, those fangs and shaggy eyebrows and all, and I'm too scared to look over his way before I turn. So now he really growls at me about not looking both ways before I turn. And I see he's writing like crazy in this great big clipboard, only not instead of hands, he has big, furry paws. Paws with sharp claws. Okay, I know. But I saw them. And now I'm rolling through a stop sign, and he's growling at me about not making a complete stop. "What are you doing?" And I know I did it wrong, but I just wanted to get out of there. And then he said something. Only I don't hear, and I forget. And I glance over his way and start to say, "Excuse me?" Only suddenly I can't say anything. I mean, I can't make a sound because now this guy has fur all over his forehead. And I'm going, "Whoa, what's going on here?" And I'm trying to figure it out. Then, just to make sure, I looked over him again. Then it was true. Shaggy eyebrows, big old fangs, furry paws, furry forehead. And then like a bolt of lightning, it hit me. This guy was turning into a werewolf. Right there in my mom's 89 Grand Am. A werewolf! I knew I had to get out of there. Fast. Then I heard someone sort of groaning. "Oh, now parallel park this thing, if you can." Parallel park? Parallel park with a werewolf in the car? But I knew I had to do it because I needed to get out of there. So I threw it into reverse. freaking out in traffic. I don't care. It's the best I can do with a werewolf in the car. So I turn off the motor and I'm figuring out how I can escape fast. And right away, he opens the door and leaps out, growling something about how I failed. Vanishes, which is what werewolves do, I guess. Anyway, when my mom came to pick me up, I told her I failed. And I told her why. I tried to explain to her that this guy's a werewolf. Really? She said, he didn't look like a werewolf to me, but she wasn't in the car. She doesn't know what really happened. I was there, and I remember it. Well, let's face it, if a werewolf gave you a driver's test, wouldn't you remember it? Roar! Very funny, guys.